My name is Dudit, set up builds and stuff, getting from A to C very fast via the Sage Armor bonus. You can self-proc that off the Glacier Grenade, by the way. The Sage Protector gear set will enable our hunters to be able to get a ×8 frost armor infinitely, like I'm not joking yet, all of the time. And we're going to be able to get infinite dodges as well. Our hunters are going to be extremely tanky and put out a bit of extra damage via the Shatterdive. The Shatterdive aspect, I used to love this in PvP back in the day. It actually gives you ×8 frost armor now when you pair it up with the Glacier Grenade. Shattering is going to give you a ×8 frost armor. Add in Wormhusk Crown. I am not joking here. Dodging gives a small bump, but what happens if you can keep dodging all of the time via the Sage Armor gear set? We're going to be able to infinitely loop our grenades and dodges, so that results basically into ×8 frost armor and infinite dodges, which results in infinite health regen. And you could put your hunters into some really stupid situations like this and still come out unscathed. ×8 frost armor is for 50% damage reduction, guys. It's an absolute joke. You can sponge so much damage. The only thing you need is a bit of healing. Add in a Praxic Blade and the Wormhusk Crown, and you can also heal on tap as well. So stay with me, I'll break it down. We'll start off with the Shatterdive aspect. Activate it while in midair to quickly descend and shatter nearby targets on impact. Shattering targets grants you frost armor. I pair it up with a Glacier Grenade. I think it works on some other things as well, but the Glacier Grenade is where it's at for me. You get a ×8 frost armor every time you shatter that Glacier Grenade, like so. So I'm just going to quickly show you. ×8, 50% damage reduction. You've also see I've got an improved ability regen there, which we'll go into as we go. We're going to get loads of grenade recharge on tap as well. So Shatterdive, ×8 frost armor. Now, add in the Wormhusk Crown. Dodging gives you small health and shield bump. It gives you 67 HP, unless it's been changed as far as I know, 67 HP. It's quite noticeable when you're doing harder activities. So you'll just see in this clip here, I'm just going to show you it working. You're going to dodge. It's sort of like an exotic that's not really used in PvE very much, but just getting that heal on your dodge is really nice for endgame activities. Just getting that extra little bump there. Now, if you add in the Praxic Blade on top of that, the balanced form, you're also going to get heals on kills. Add that with your Wormhusk, and you've pretty much got healing on tap whenever you want it. So you've got your Wormhusk dodge for 67 HP. You've got your Praxic Blade balanced form, get a couple of kills. You're going to trigger health regeneration. 2 to 3 enemies, depending on what enemies. It can proc instantaneously as well on certain enemies, I have noticed. And then also you've got the Energy Conduit. It grants health regeneration based on the number of targets hit by your thrown sword. So with killing things, throwing your sword and your Wormhusk, you've got like 3 different ways of healing, like straight off the bat. Now, obviously bearing in mind, we're going to loop this dodge as well with the gear set in question, which we'll go into in a moment. You can see there from the Energy Conduit, you do get quite a lot of health regeneration back from that as well. Now, adding the Sage Protector gear set, the 2-piece and the 4-piece, both give you really good grenade and class ability regen. Now, the 4-piece, all you got to do is block for about 2 seconds, and then I think you get like 6 or 7 seconds where you do damage with your sword, i.e. your Praxic Blade. You're going to get absolutely massive grenade and dodge ability back. Now, take a look at this, sorry. Watch my grenade come back and my class ability. Now, that's a joke. Now, imagine that Wormhusk. If you can infinitely keep looping your dodge, you're infinitely going to be able to heal. And you can infinitely keep that ×8 frost armor up all of the time. You usually get it back 5 or 6 seconds before the timer runs out. So you can literally, like, honestly, just keep looping your ×8 frost. Now, this is where some cool things start to happen, because you've got Winter's Shroud going, where it says dodging slows nearby targets, but slowing targets briefly increases your class ability regen. So whenever you slow something, now add in the Impact Core, where your melee hits are going to slow the targets, you literally get so much class ability regen back, which works brilliantly with Wormhusk Crown. Now look at that class ability there, I've got nothing on. I ain't even using the Sage Protector, and it's a joke. So you can literally keep looping that. You could also run the gyro core as well, where slowing, your throw attacks will slow targets, so you can use that. That works nicely with the energy conduit. Up to you. I prefer the impact core for this build. So I just want to show you the little loop that you do. Basically, you'll notice there, ×8 frost. Now keep an eye on my health regeneration when I do my dodge. My stomp, I'm protected from that. That's the ×8 frost armor. And you've also got loads and loads of dodges. That's everything working together. So you can see I've got infinite ×8 frost whenever I want. Infinite dodges, left, right and centre. Plenty of healing. I'll quickly show you the rest of my fragments and then we'll get into some gameplay. Whisper of Fishes, this is really going to help your Shatterdive out. Whisper of Shards, every time you shatter a crystal, you're going to get more grenade recharge rate on top of the Sage as well. So that one works really, really nice. You've also got Whisper of Rime. You need this one on to get your ×8 frost. That'll give you a maximum count of your frost armor. And then lastly, Whisper of Refraction. Defeating slowed frozen combatants gives you more class ability. So I've just got 1 or 2 clips of it working in the Frontier. Just for the damage side of it. The damage side of it is pretty nice. I've always got armor charge going as well, which we'll go into as well. So I've always got like ×2 kinetic surge for the Praxic Blade. Now, I just want to sort of mention as well, every time you hit something with your sword, you are slowing things, which is giving you class ability back via the Winter Shroud. So you've literally got pretty much infinite dodges like all of the time, which works perfectly with Wormhusk. Now, the health regeneration in here is severely reduced, don't forget. This is why I didn't want to show you too much of it working in here, although I was able to keep my health up. Now, for normal stuff like 30 under, -30, this is the hardest loss sector. It's a joke, really, really easy. I couldn't show it properly in here because we had restorative light, but I wanted to show you the damage. It absolutely shreds overloads. Now, don't forget, overloads are affected by shatter damage, so you will stun overloads. I want to show you the damage that you do to an overload in a -50. I'm aware, like if you run the Solar or the Void version, you probably do a little bit more damage, but you're still able to keep very, very tanky, full health. Like, it's like usually like 2 cycles, and that Shatterdive damage does actually do a decent amount of damage to champions, but where it's at is for like these little trash mobs here. You're going to get that frost armor going and just clear them out very, very easily. In my opinion, I would prefer if the Shatterdive had a slightly bit more damage. The Glacier Grenade, if it's stacked with grenade damage or something like that, that would make this build absolutely perfect. But you can't have everything. You are extremely, extremely tanky, and you can still deal decent damage. I don't know if you've done these -50 GMs. They're an absolute joke. Some of these are really, really tanky enemies, like really, really tanky. So I was on my own here, and I was able to keep my health nice and fully topped up and always keep that 50% damage reduction going. Obviously, in this clip, I'm playing with a few friends. Now, the one thing I want to say to you that's super important, now, I really want you to pay attention to this one, is Frost Armor ×8 will enable you to survive big stomps, like, from champions, so you really can get up close. If you want to try doing this on a solo subclass without Frost Armor, like, or even Wormhusk, you just can't. You get stomped to death. The Frost Armor will protect you from them stomps and anything like massive that the champions can do to you. So that's really important. Now remember that. I'll just leave my key stats like so you can sort of copy them. I just sort of max my grenade and class ability out as much as possible. There's my mods, etc. Now the other thing I just want to quickly mention before you go is the 4-piece. You're going to get increased lunge range, but you need to activate it with a light attack against a combatant. But with the Glacier Grenade, it actually self-procs. As long as you proc your blade focus by blocking for a few seconds, you can proc that movement, the increased lunge range yourself. Just a bit of useful information, just in case you didn't know. That pretty much wraps up this video. Let me know what you guys think. Also, some other exotics that could pair nicely with this, something like Frosties or something like that, may be good as well. But you would lose that healing. Let me know. I will leave a dim link in the video description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.